Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Owl Show right here on BKS1 Radio. It is your girl, Latoya Chanel, and I am back and I am in the building, and I am so happy and so blessed to be able to be here and talking to you all. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We have a great show tonight where we are going to feature a filmmaker, producer, director, you name it, he has done it, and we're going to get into that shortly. But before we do, I just, I haven't been here in a while. So much has gone on since I have been here in the studio, and so much has gone on since I was able to do the show. So, first and foremost, I do want to say rest in peace to Colin Powell. We are losing the great ones, one after another, everybody. And it's definitely a loss to the African American community, and it is a loss worldwide. So may he rest in peace, and my condolences to his family. Because that is a lot to deal with. And, as we have been talking about on the Owl Show for some time now, just loss in this particular time period throughout the pandemic has been a lot for a lot of people. So I think what we'll start doing is, having a moment of silence for all those who have been lost, over this time period, because it really and truly is a lot. And a lot of people are dealing with a lot of loss in so many different areas. So we are definitely going to begin implementing that over our next few shows. And in the meantime, as I always do, because it is just me, it's just Latoya Chanel right now. Shout out to my show partner, Miss Queen B, who is taking care of herself, taking care of her health and her wellness, because y'all know we are big on that here. And y'all know that that is what we preach. We preach taking care of yourself. We preach make sure you're pouring into yourself before you can pour into others, dealing with what you have to do for you. And we would not be keepers of our word if we did not do that. So shout out to my partner, Miss Queen B, who actually we had her bridal shower this weekend. So congratulations again to her. She has a big day that is coming up, and we will all be in the building to celebrate her. So again, congrats to her. But she'll be back soon, guys. She'll be back soon and very soon. So if you miss her face around here, around these parts, she will be back. In the meantime, though, you're stuck with just me. Sorry. But tonight we're going to be talking about arts and culture in the African American community. So, what is that, right? So, I was invited to an event in the city about a week or so ago, an arts and culture event. And it's so ironic to me that when we talk about arts and culture, a lot of times people think of other cultures, right? So, if you're talking about the Asian culture, the Italian culture, if you're talking about Indian culture, uh, there are so many things that they do that we can pinpoint and say, oh, this is what these group of people do, and this is what these group of people do. And of course, historically, we all have that. But what is arts and culture in the African American community now? Right? So as African Americans, what do we deem to be culture? Now, of course, if we all made it down to DC to the African American Art Museum, right, we would be able to see, exactly what culture is. And I'm sure we would be surprised on what a lot of us consider African American culture. It's the music we listen to, it's the movies we watch, it's the TV shows we watch, it's things that have become strong fixtures in our culture, things that we laugh about it on social media, but it's the things that all African Americans know. It's the head nod when there's only two of you in a room or two of you in a space. It's again, it's the slang we use, it's the words we say, it's the clothes that we wear. That is art, and that is culture. And a lot of times we don't realize how deep and how valuable we are as a people, because we just play it off as this is just something that we do and this is just how we are, not realizing and not recognizing um, how much people from other cultures would pay to have the things that we have, or do the things that we do, or walk the way we walk, or speak the way we speak. So why is that? Why do we do that as a people? Why as a people do we downplay or downgrade what makes us us? Do people of other cultures do that? I don't know. You guys can talk to me in the chat. Um, why is it our culture that we do that? Or the second part of my question, why is it that other cultures will do that and then steal what it is we have and claim it to be their own? I believe that's cultural appropriation. But why does that happen? You know? Have you asked yourself that question? I'm just saying. Anyway, I have had the pleasure though of I had to go to an arts and cultural event in Manhattan for Black and Brown and LGBTQ community last weekend, and it was absolutely amazing. The display of song, the display of art, the display of poetry and camaraderie at that event was just absolutely amazing, and it was warming, and it was real, and it was gritty, and I loved every single minute of it. Shout out to Nona Hendricks, who was a part of the of Patti LaBelle and the LaBelles, and from Lady Marmalade, the song, and all of the other big hits that they had, who is now 76 years old and performed as if she were 25. I mean, you talking about Megan knees? This woman is 76 and dropped it low and dipped and stayed down there and did a whole bunch of stuff that I can't do now at my age. So kudos to her. And this woman is all about the futurism of the African American community and culture. And when I tell you, she was an amazing speaker, an amazing performer, and just to be around her energy was truly, truly, truly a blessing. And for someone who has been in entertainment for so long, I felt truly blessed just to be in her presence. So, uh, oh, so just read the comments for a minute. Let's see. But African Americans want to adopt African culture and reject the culture we have created here in America. You know what? Honestly, I agree with you. I agree with you. We do have our own culture here in America as African Americans that is separate from African culture in itself. It has to be, because we have not been there. We're separated. We were a part of the diaspora. So it's virtually impossible for us to continue to do the same things that we were doing when we were ripped from it. It's impossible for us to continue on, the traditions of those who are still in Africa. So we have come here and we have created our own culture here. My question is why we as a people downplay it instead of playing it up, you know. But today, that was just my bit of deepness and what I have been doing, however deep that was. And a bit of what I've been doing since I have been away, because you all know I already work in performing arts and I already work in arts and culture. But a little bit about more of what I have been into is a guest that we're going to have tonight. I'm going to let him in a few minutes. So right here in New Jersey, right here in the Queen City, the city of Plainfield, this is going on year 1, 2, 3, 4. We are having our 4th annual independent film festival right here in the city of Plainfield. So if you guys have been on my page at any point in time in the last week, please look it up and come out and support, because this gentleman right here, who is the founder of this festival, will be talking to us right now a bit about, let me let him in, a bit about arts and culture. And let's see. I don't think he's on as of yet. Let me see. Participants. Okay, yep. I think he's coming in now. Lamar, you here? Yes, he is here. So, everybody, please help me welcome to the virtual stage my guest for the evening, Mr. Lamar Mackson.
Yes,
Hello.
yes. Good evening.
Oh, wait a minute. Did you freeze? I think you just froze. Hold on. I think you froze as soon as I added this pin. Hold on. Let's see if I can remove it because we're losing you for a bit. So we're having a bit of some technical difficulties right now. Um, let's see. If I remove that, will that work better?
Oh yeah.
Let's see here. Da 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 da. Lamar, if you can hear me, if you can here, let me remove you and let's see if I can bring you back in. Hold on. And da, 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 da. Hold on, everybody. Technical difficulties. Technical difficulties. Lamar, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Ah,
Go
there
ahead. Can
you
you hear me?
are. Okay. All right. All right. Here we go. You're back.
Yes.
You are back.
What's up? What's up? Sorry about that. You know how this technology works.
Yes. Yes, I do. I do. I do. Here, let me see. I keep trying to make sure I am spotlighting you. Oh, you are spotlighted. Okay.
So
Here.
first of all, I wanted to just ask, how are you so perfectly framed in the camera, and I look like some sort of ogre giant next to you? It's
I know you
ridiculous.
don't.
Ridiculous.
No, you
Thanks
don't.
for having me. It's always good to be on BKS1. Shout out to Norm.
Yes.
Shout out to Soups.
Yes.
Shout out to the rest of the fam. Much love to B in
Yes.
her new journey.
Yes.
Wish you could be here to chat it up with us. But yeah, we're back.
Yes,
The
we are back.
2050 Film
Yes.
Festival.
And so I've led into the show talking about arts and culture and you know, and African American arts and culture in particular, and how important it is and how imperative it is that we recognize what it is that we're doing. I think historically, we know what a lot of our contributions have been and what they are, but I think we kind of get lost in the current moment in recognizing just how valuable we are and how important our contributions are, you know, at the time. So I want to know your thoughts first before we get into film. I want to know your thoughts first on African American art and culture at the moment.
At the moment, I
Yes.
think we're in a resurgence of Black art.
Mm-hmm.
And when we use the term, I think when you say African American art, I'm not sure if you're talking about the entire diaspora of Black. Shout out to my Haitian brethren,
Mm-hmm.
my Dominican brethren
Mm-hmm.
who share who share the same color skin. My
Yes.
Panamanian brethren who share the same skin.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if you're talking about that. Um, you know, product of our culture in general that we call art.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we're in somewhat of a resurgence in terms of Black people taking control over their ability to create
Absolutely.
and taking control over their ability to make their voices be heard
Yep.
and put those voices out there into the universe to share with others. So I think we're in a place of growth. Let's put it that way.
Absolutely. And I completely agree with you. I was telling the audience how I went to an arts and culture event at a theater in Manhattan over the weekend, and how that was the theme of the conversation of stepping rightfully into your place and taking control of the narrative and taking control of what it is that we are providing unapologetically, you know? So,
Sure, absolutely. I think it's important for us. I mean, you've known me for a long time.
mhm,
You know that I've always taken control over the ability to create art
mhm,
uh, and to create the avenues for others to participate in that art.
mhm.
So I'm one of those people. Not everyone does that, but certainly for me, it's been important for me to share my art and to create a business around that art so others can thrive and prosper around it as well. So, art is multi-layered. It's not just I'm going to go out and make something, because you can go out and make something,
Yeah.
and you can do that, and you can be very proficient at it. Or you can have an event, or you can make a film or make music and do all of those things.
Mhm.
Um, but in the modern world, there's also an economy around art that needs to be recognized for those who want to be professional at it. Um, so you have to just be aware of the tools of the trade,
Mhm.
and be more savvy about what you create and what you let people see from the things that you create, and then know how to monetize your artwork.
Mhm.
Um, I think those are all important aspects in sort of the evolution of Black art in America, and also how we can take more control over it and do more good for ourselves and the community at large.
Absolutely, absolutely. And your way of doing that, your outlet, this space that you have created has been Queen City Film Festival.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, well, as you know, uh, Queen City Film Festival started out as a real humble endeavor. Um, we, when I say we, you were a part of that we, because you were our production manager. We produce films,
Mhm.
we produce, all types of film products, but we just happened to have, at that time, 4 years ago, several films that we had produced, that we produced in Plainfield,
Mhm. Yeah.
with either Plainfield crew or some Plainfield actors or Plainfield locations, definitely. Um, and we wanted people to have a chance to see them. Like,
Right.
you remember these conversations,
Mhm.
because we were going all over the country with the films, but we never had an opportunity to have our neighbors and friends and family folk see these great works of art
Right.
that we were creating at home,
Right.
which is really the important thing. So, we came together, we rented a space. Shout out to the city of Plainfield,
Mhm.
Shep, uh, and the mayor's office, Jazz, and them
Yeah.
came together and helped us out by creating a space that we were able to jump into and show these films. And what's cool about it is it was real grassroots at the time. We rented a
Mhm.
projector, a screen, we threw the films up, and we invited people to come out.
Yeah.
And it was a great success in that people really enjoyed not only the films, and that's really great as a filmmaker when you get reactions from people, live reactions, and not some digital feedback, but
Yeah.
you're in the audience, you get to see people reacting to the work, and to the lines, to the dialogue, to the location, to the cinematography. um when you see that happen, it's really magic. So we got to experience that year one.
Mhm.
And a lot of the people who were part of the filmmaking process, like, for the different projects, we had by Okima Timur.
Mhm.
We had White Picket Fence on the docket by Jacqueline Howell King. We had Heroin and Moves We Make, both by Patrick Coker, of course, but all of these films were made in Plainfield.
Yep.
So for us to be able to show these pictures to Plainfield residents, it was really important. And those people came out, the filmmakers that I just mentioned, and met with the community.
Hmm.
And we had a dialogue and a back and forth about making uh, movies and what it was like. And it was really a great experience. So to, sort of condense the story of Queen City Film Festival, the year two or directly after year one, we just decided that we wanted more of that.
Yes. Yes.
So we opened it up to more filmmakers and expanded it into New Jersey. And it oddly enough, it wasn't just New Jersey.
No.
Year two, it was like we
All
received films
over.
from all over the world,
Yeah. All over.
all over the world. So it was it's gone from there. And
Hmm.
so now in year four, we're back.
Yep.
We've survived the year three pandemic of COVID 19, which almost took out every film festival, music festival, every festival.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know the deal.
Yes.
You're in the business, so you know what happened last year.
Mm.
Um, so last year was great. I mean, we had a virtual
Hmm.
presentation on Facebook. We had 50 films, I guess, or more. We also had a drive-in, and it was fantastic.
Yes.
Um, and it really proved to us that the Queen City Film Festival was an important um, contribution
Hmm.
to the community,
Hmm.
uh,
Hmm.
and to the community at large, Plainfield, New Jersey, but also to the filmmaking community, because we received so many films during the course of the pandemic. And don't forget that while that was all going on, the pandemic was all going on, you had Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, you had brothers getting drugged through the streets like it was 1927,
Yeah.
and young people from all over the world, experienced filmmakers, quality filmmakers, were sending us tremendous short films,
Yes.
tremendous
Yeah.
works of art,
Yeah.
um, and that was inspiring for us to continue into our fourth year, which is here now. So October 22nd to the 24th, get ready. It's 2 days away.
It's 2 days away.
We got a lineup that's really going to be great.
Yeah. Yeah. And for, I mean, you've already said why it was important, for us to be able to show films in our hometown, but from, for also from the artist's perspective as well, because as you said, we made 4 films ourselves. Why are just film festivals, in your opinion, important? Period.
Oh, for so many reasons. Not to mention the satisfaction again of being able to complete a film project. So let's say most short films that go into film festivals are 10 minutes, 20 minutes. But the ones who are really fine tuned have done 10-minute works, because they know that most of the film festivals are you know keep it to 10 minutes or less.
Hmm.
So it's really hard to tell a story in 10 minutes, a complete story, a
Yeah.
full story.
Yeah.
Now you can get out here with one camera and shoot it with no lights and no sound and try to make something and call it a movie.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's not it. So I think that the challenge of doing that creates strength in the filmmaking community. So having film festivals is good for filmmakers because it's an outlet.
Hmm.
It's a place for them to develop their skill. It's a place for them to develop their business savvy, and it's a place for them to develop their rapport with audience
Hmm.
and to figure out what audiences really want. Um, at the same time, on the flip side of that coin, it's good for the community to see people collaborate and create such profound work, um, and present it with such high quality. As you would go to big box office films, these films are equally polished and powerful. So, for the community to have access to some of this talent, it's great.
Yeah.
And over the years, we've had great impact on a lot of young people through the festival,
Hmm.
through networking opportunities and introducing young people to filmmakers and putting
Hmm.
them in productions and internship situations. So film festivals are good. They're
Yeah.
good.
I think my favorite part is the fact that you're able to tell your own story, whatever culture it is. It doesn't have to just be African American culture, but whatever culture it is, because we've had so many films that I've had the pleasure to watch over the years at our festivals. The ability to tell the story from your perspective and your culture, not like you said, a big box theater or a big box film company that has to take into consideration the sensitivities of this or take in the consideration the sensitivities of that, or we can't show this or we can't talk about that, or this is taboo or that, you know. But you can tell your story from your perspective no matter how long it is, and it's going to be shown as such. That's the way you wrote it, that's the way it's going to be told, and at that point the audience gets what they get, and how it's received is however it's received. And there's something about that that is speaks volumes to me, and it speaks, it there's bravery to me, and there's so much realness in a lot of the gritty stories that we have seen. Because even some of our film winners, they've tackled so many difficult topics that, in a lot of the major films, you can get a good story every now and again, but do they really get to the grit of a certain character and what makes a certain character? And I feel like even in just those 10 minutes, when we are focused on just that one person in whatever situation of humanness that they're in, you can learn so much and see so much more, you know? That is
Yeah.
my favorite part of doing this, and that is my favorite part of being a viewer, and my favorite part of independent films, actually.
Well, I think that's cool. One of the favorite things I like about making films is that, well, first of all, it's the collaborative family, like all the people that come together. You get all these different personalities coming together to make something happen. But the stories that we tell a lot of times, you're right, they're not mainstream stories, so they're not something that you would normally see. Again,
No,
from
no.
our perspective, we have the ability to tell stories in a different way. But at the same time, when you're an independent production, which I think is important for filmmakers who go to these film festivals all over the country and present their work, they have choices and they can make choices. And if you have the ability to raise funds or you're creative enough, you can tell the story that you want to tell.
Right,
Um,
right.
so I just feel like film festivals foster that,
Hmm.
and it gives filmmakers a great opportunity to learn how to, again, market their work, to reach out to audiences, because you want to be able to reach lots of people with your stories. So
Yeah.
I feel like the Queen City Film Festival is one of those places to present your work and to meet people and physically interact with people who care about movies and care about stories and want to share,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. And I love the fact that, especially in this time period that we are living through right now, we are the only ones in our generation who have, lived through a pandemic. Our parents can't necessarily say that they've lived through a pandemic, but we can say that we have. But I feel like the art that is going to come from this and come, through living through this is going to be absolutely amazing. The stories that we are going to be able to tell because we lived through this time period and from so many different perspectives. I just feel like um, cinema in the next 5 years is going to be all about COVID this, pandemic that, uh,
Well, let's
you
talk.
know.
Let's not to interrupt you, but let's just talk up front. I mean, last year the movies that we received had a particular tone, and this year market difference. The subject matter has changed.
Mm,
Received a lot of social justice films this year that
mm,
the topics weren't on people's radars.
mm,
So some of the films that we chose this year have um, a historical slant regarding what was going on, last year,
mm,
and leading up to last year.
mm,
And there are some films that do include COVID storylines,
mm,
police brutality storylines, um, racial injustice storylines. So I agree with you. The times are becoming more interesting, but I think
yeah,
that filmmakers are becoming, in particularly and storytellers in general, are becoming much more bold and unafraid of telling stories. And we actually have a special guest in the studio tonight, and I'm sure he wants to remain a mystery. I'm look over here at him one time, but I will say the name. Mr. Williams is in the house this evening, and we're honored here at the Queen City Film Festival to be blessed with his presence. But we were
yes,
just talking a minute ago, as we do, we chop it up about film work all the time.
yes,
But we were just talking about um, these new, storylines, and people are pushing new stories and in different directions,
hmm,
um, and they're being bold about it
yes,
and unapologetic.
yes,
And big media companies are eating it up. Big
absolutely,
media companies are paying for it and
hmm,
enjoying publishing the work.
yes,
So
yes,
there
yes,
it is.
yeah.
Speak your truth, whatever it is.
Whatever it is, whatever it is. So I want to know
Yep.
from you, being the founder of a film festival, what makes a good film? So you have, a lot of young people out here who are watching and they're trying to figure out what, everybody thinks that they have a camera. There's so many movies that are made now on iPhones that, or, on something that they hold in the palm of their hand. So what are the elements of a good film, in your opinion?
The good elements of a good film.
Mm-hmm.
I would say one, good story,
Mm-hmm.
and two, good execution of telling that story. Um, and the good execution of telling a story involves some technical aspects that some can be cheated, others can't.
Okay.
Um, because you mentioned and I'm not going to downgrade the iPhone technology that
Mm-hmm.
remains uh, available to many people
Yeah.
in the world. Um, but there is a professional approach to telling a story visually, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and if you can luck up on it, if you watch enough movies, you can mimic it and you can do it. But for those who are more savvy about filmmaking, they know exactly what those technical moves are.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would say good lighting is also another aspect of good filmmaking. Um, Good sound always is important. You and I think audio is always overlooked as well.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of projects where they put a lot into the upfront look of things, and then they fail on the audio,
Mm-hmm.
like totally fail. And you can tell either one that they didn't even have an audio person on set, or two, they didn't know how to mix whatever audio that they received, or it was unprofessionally recorded, or it was sort of bundled into the camera,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And as a guy who's watched, I don't know, I'm not even going to put a number on how many films I've watched or how many projects I participated in, but I can tell you it's a lot. I just turned 52 last week. Give thanks.
What?
And for the last month, I've been, you know, recovering from a back injury, a lower back injury. So I've been watching a ton of movies,
Mm-hmm.
including all of the movies that came in through the Queen City Film Festival.
Right.
And I think that filmmakers can do. There's a lot of great filmmakers out there, and a lot of young, great, powerful filmmakers that are telling stories the right way, and they're doing it with very small budgets, um, and they're working it.
Yeah.
There are other filmmakers that are just they're not cutting it,
Yeah.
and they're trying, and I respect that,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to encourage young filmmakers, if they want to make films, to study the process.
Yeah.
It takes time, and not, don't rush into, I have a camera and now I'm doing a web series, and the web series doesn't have, certain technical elements to it.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that your work has all of the polish of the shows and the programs that you enjoy when
Yeah.
you turn on the television or pay for them on film.
And I'm glad you said that because I feel like almost everything nowadays is becoming a lost art. Everybody, it's easy for someone to wake up in the morning and say, you know what, today I am a, insert something in the blank, and it's like,
And
and I can do
so
this.
we're about to lose the man, the myth, the legend,
Hey,
Mr.
hey,
Williams.
Mr.
But he's
Williams.
here. He's here. We're
Hel-
fully vaccinated as well. So
Latoya, how are you, Latoya? Miss
I,
Latoya.
I,
I'm ever so impressed. But I gotta go. Always a pleasure.
I must have juice because I
Mr.
just pulled him on to the
Yes,
internet. He's
Mr.
never on the
Williams.
internet.
Will Mr. Williams be in
Yeah,
attendance this weekend?
he'll be present. He'll
All
be
right.
present.
Well,
Yes.
Mr. Williams, we will see you this weekend.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
You got your back?
Yeah, that's
All right, one love.
Yes.
Um,
But yeah, so many people don't study the art and craft and put enough time and effort and energy into, what it is that they say they want to do. They wake up one day and someone says, "Oh, you had a great 5 seconds of doing this, so now you need to do that forever." And it's like, it doesn't necessarily work like that. And that is also in film and in art. It doesn't necessarily work like
it's all
that.
of everything. Now, imagine if you went to the doctor, and the doctor, you just asked the doctor, well, doctor, I have a problem. I have a pain inside, but I just wanted to ask you, how long have you been practicing medicine? And they will say to you and respond to you, uh, yeah, I just started practicing medicine like 2 weeks ago.
I just started
Oh, really?
when I got a headache. I cured my own, so I figured I could help you too.
Yeah. I saw someone else do it, so now I'm going to do it.
Right, right, right. This is my thing. This is my niche.
Not really the doctor that I want to, talk to me about my health. However,
Yeah.
um, I think that in our culture now, there are a lot of enticements for people in particular, I'm speaking to young people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have time to really talk to old people, but I'm speaking to young people. Um, really,
Yeah.
because you can't tell a lot of old people a lot of things, but young people
Right.
will get this.
Right.
They have a lot of opportunity um, to think
Mm-hmm.
that things are done relatively quickly
Mm-hmm.
and relatively easy and relatively overnight. And I think that our general culture here in America encourages young people to think that they don't have to work all that hard to get,
Absolutely.
to be the best, to
Yeah,
be the best,
I agree.
right? So being the best, and we know that people like, Jay-Z, who
Mm-hmm.
claim to be the best. Listen, I saw Jay-Z in the 90s
Mm-hmm.
at Roseland Ballroom,
Mm-hmm.
when
Mm-hmm.
he was like just starting out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He was working hard
Mm-hmm.
then.
Mm-hmm.
And, and it takes ethic to really achieve something.
Mm-hmm.
And when you apply it to filmmaking, I think the more that you focus on the craft and you surround yourself with others who excellent and want to push to not only test skill but also test the ability to push the limits of storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
I think that then you have you know the perfect combination.
Yeah,
But you have young people in your life, Latoya. It's a struggle sometimes.
it is. It is. It definitely is. It definitely is. How do we uh how do we, and this is for film, this is for arts and culture, how do we convey to the next generation that uh their output of art is a part of the culture, so what they're doing is important?
Well, that's a very deep question, but I think it's very simple to answer.
Mm-hmm.
If you have love of what you do, no matter what your contribution to society is, and you love what you do,
Mm-hmm.
then you have value and importance.
Mm-hmm.
And so it can be making film, it can be taking pictures, it can be becoming a teacher's assistant and having dreams of becoming a great educator and working with young people and getting your PhD and then becoming a superintendent who learns how to really run school districts and educate young people so that they grow up to be productive young people who have great family. Sorry, I could go on forever.
Yes. Yes.
We need to focus on that,
Mm-hmm.
um, and be open to letting um, people make their choices,
Yeah.
but holding them accountable for
Mm-hmm.
the choices that they make. And
Absolutely.
hopefully, the choices that they make are positive and they want to contribute.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if they love what they do, as I love what I do, as you love what you do,
Mm-hmm.
our love for it will pour out into others, into the community, into individuals. And even if it's only one individual every 10 years, because I'm old. I've been doing it a long time. Look at all this white hair in my beard.
Oh, stop it.
I'm sitting
Stop it.
sitting here hunched over because my lower back's hurting.
Stop
But
it.
you uh, but if we continue to do our work,
Mm-hmm.
others will be impacted by it, and that's one of the important lessons that I've learned. Uh, just working in general and being a film producer and working on various projects, and then leading into the Queen City Film Festival. The Queen City Film Festival has been in addition to that, or an extension sort of my philosophy of just doing what I love to do and doing that work. And then presenting opportunity for others to participate in my love of the arts and what that all entails.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. 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 I love it. I absolutely love it. Again, I started off the show telling everybody to, if you haven't seen my page, any of my social outlets in the last week, please make sure you go there because I do have the Queen City Film Festival schedule posted. Or you can also go to qcffnj.com. But tell
yes,
everybody a bit about what is going to be going on this weekend and how they can be a part
an
of it.
amazing lineup based on, again, COVID-19 has been limiting. So, and we've been observant of COVID-19. So we have 3 days starting October 22nd, 23rd, and 20th. Friday is a virtual presentation. We're going to have a talk back panel with executive producers from Tales on BET, which is an awesome show on BET.
Mhm.
Mr. Patrick Coker and Mr. Adam Wiesen are going to come out and talk to me live on Instagram. I think they're going to actually talk to you, madam.
Yes.
Um,
Yes, they are.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, they're talking to
Yeah,
you.
they're talking to me. We're
Um,
gonna we're gonna
and
chat it
that's
up a
going to
little
be,
bit.
and that starts at noon on Friday.
Hmm.
Um, Noon Eastern Standard Time, and then 9 a.m. on the Pacific Time. I know they're in LA right now working on projects with Irv Gotti from Murder Inc. And he's also the executive producer of Tales. So they're going to be on talking about show running and executive producing and how to be good at it and how to do it. So that's Friday. And I'm going to present possibly a pop-up screening online Friday night. So stay tuned to www.qcffnj.com
Hmm.
for more information on that.
Yep.
So Saturday is going to be huge because we're back in Cinemark Theater on Route 22 East in Watchung, New Jersey. And we have a crazy lineup of films from not only Plainfield that were produced in Plainfield, but films from all over. Really amazing works. In fact, I was screening one film. We have a film with Judd Nelson in it from The Breakfast Club is in it. I was like, what? That's Judd Nelson.
Mm.
And we have another film with Margaret Cho in it.
Wow.
um,
Okay.
the great Korean female
Yeah.
comedian.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about how Queen City Film Festival has grown
Yeah.
because we're getting films from filmmakers of many different backgrounds and nationalities.
Hmm.
We've received some amazing Asian market films,
Mm.
Black films.
Mm.
My man Bobby Yan, 5-time Emmy Award winning Bobby Yan. We've got one of his films
Nice.
in Queen City Film Festival, which is tremendous.
Nice.
Um, love Bobby Yan and his work. Um, so we're very excited about the growth of Queen City Film Festival. Natural Langdon with his film Nikita is as part of the lineup. So Saturday at Cinemark Theater, October 23rd, you don't miss it because we're going to be screening from 1 p.m.
Hmm.
to 9 p.m.
Yes. Yep.
We're also honoring Festival Ambassador Anna Sims Phillips, who is a native of Plainfield, New Jersey, but is like an 8-time Emmy Award winner, news producer for ABC News in 2020. So she'll be in the room to answer questions and chat, a fireside chat. I think you're doing that conversation as well, madam. But so we're doing that
Yes.
at 3 p.m. on October 23rd.
Hmm.
And then Sunday, drum roll please, drive-in theater at Plainfield High School.
Yes.
Once again, another drive-in.
Yes.
Excuse me. And we are screening, premiering two films that were produced in Plainfield, New Jersey. One of them was directed by the great Mr. Patrick Coker
Yes.
of Tales on BET fame.
Yes.
So we will release more information on that. You'll have that flyer and you can post that on your page. But if you need more information, you can always visit the festival on Instagram at Queen City Film Festival NJ, or we're on Facebook at Queen City Film Festival, and also at the website, qcffnj.com.
All right.
That's it.
Listen. So if you want to be a part of it, if you want to show up to the theater on Saturday, just please make sure you go out to those sites. And you can follow my page. You can follow QCFFNJ. You can go to Queen City Film Festival NJ on any of the social outlets. And please, please, please make sure you show up. You do not want to miss this on Saturday. You do not want to miss an amazing interview on Friday at noon. And you don't want to miss the film festival from 1 to 9 at Cinemark Theater on Route 22. And you probably shouldn't miss the drive-in on Sunday evening. And that starts at 5 p.m.
That's right.
That starts
5 p.m.
At 5 p.m. You probably don't want to miss that
Pull
either.
up.
Yeah, pull up, bring the family out. It's going to be a great evening. It's going to be a great weekend of entertainment and culture and camaraderie. And it's something
By
that
the way,
you should be a part of.
I don't want to cut you off, but shout out to the Union County commissioners who sponsored the drive-in: Rebecca Williams, Mirabella. Love them all. Sergio Granados, the team over there, they did a wonderful job in supporting us last year, and they decided that we need to keep doing this. So they've supported us again this year, and I'm just so thrilled to have them on board. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Well, shout out to them. Shout out to everybody that has been a part of the Queen City Film Festival. And please make sure you guys are a part of it this year. Go online, figure out how you can be there, how you can support, and how you won't want to miss this monumentous occasion. So come out. Thank you so much, Mr. Mackson, for being a part of the show tonight. And
Love you.
yeah, we'll be there. Of course I'll be there, but we will be there in the virtual building, in the physical building, and we'll be outside at the drive-thru. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to viewing all of the films, and it should be a great time and another great moment in history.
Indeed, indeed. Yeah, we got some lineups for you, Latoya. Your jaw's gonna be on the floor on a few of them. You're gonna be like, oh my God,
I
oh
can't.
my God. So, I've been sitting over here in my triage moment, like me and Tania just watching films, like, oh my God. But no, seriously, I thank you. I thank BKS1 once again.
Yes.
Much love to the outstanding women who help heal, because you really do. Your energy and your brightness, you all really make a difference out here, and we love this content. So I appreciate you in this channel.
Thank you.
And shout out to my man Storm Norm, BKS. That's my dude. Peace.
Thank you. We'll see you on Friday.
Yes, yes.
All righty. Let's see here. All right, everybody. That was Mr. Hold on. Let me make sure I am removing that. That was Mr. Lamar Mackson, founder of the Queen City Film Festival right here in Plainfield, New Jersey. Please make sure you guys go out and take a look. You can either go to qcffnj.com or go to Queen City Film Festival NJ on Facebook or on Instagram to find out how you can grab a ticket and be a part of this monumentous occasion. We are back. Last year everything was virtual, but this year we are back. We are in the building. And you know what? Going to the movies is a thing that we have done since the beginning of time. So you know what? As we're getting back to regular life, make sure that you are a part of it, and make sure that you are supporting, and make sure that you are not missing out on arts and culture. Yes, I had to circle back to that, everybody. But I love you guys for watching. I love you guys for listening. God willing, I will be back here in the studio, same time, same place, different show. To everybody that watched and tuned in and even had our comments tonight, I love you guys for watching. I love you guys for listening. And I will hopefully, God willing, be seeing you all soon.